Okay, number 15 is an optional problem. I saw the problem on YouTube. I do recommend you watch the video. You just click on this link over here, and you can watch the guy do the video. It's based on a problem that was posted to Reddit. And basically just an image. The guy copied an image, I guess, from... My assumption, he probably got it from his child, and he posted it to the internet to help his child out, all right? Because the guy says he's at a university, can't remember how to do things. Although it might be just recreational, who knows, all right? What do I see? I see a picture of a hexagon, and it does say that if you blow that up, it does say a regular hexagon. I do see that. That's a six-sided figure. And they're asking me what the length of that question mark is there. Again, you go back over your calculate the unknown length. That's the question mark, by the way. Looking at it, it's a hexagon. Just to review some things with you, it's six-sided. If you were to just, kind of divide this up into triangles, I'll do this by doing something like this over here. And let's see, look, I could divide that up into 4 separate triangles. And the amount of degrees here is 180 degrees. This is 180 degrees. The sum of the angles, this is 180 degrees. That's 180 degrees. And if you add them all together, you get, let's see, 400, 320, 720 degrees. And this is a regular hexagon, which means all these angles over here would have to be the same measure. So you're going to divide through by 6, and 6 goes into 720, 120 times. All right? So let me get my eraser router, just undo things. Oops. And I know every angle in that hexagon is 120 degrees. So let me put this down over. This is 120 degrees. All right? So there's other things I could do. Again, I'm going to just maybe draw a little tiny line over here. And this side, that side, basically the same thing. Triangle, I get the angles now. It's going to be, let's say, they're equal angles, by the way, that this angle here, that angle there is equal. And the question is, if it's equal, what would those measures be? Well, that's going to be 120 minus 180. So they'd be 60 divided by 2, 30 degrees. All right, I'll come back to this later. Going to go over here now, draw another line in. And what do I know there? I know this is 120 degrees. And I got to know this is 30 degrees. I just did it, right? This is 30 degrees. And if that's 45 degrees, this is going to be 15 degrees. All right? Okay, I got to figure out some more angles over here. Let's take a look. And what I'm going to do over here is, you know what, I think I can maybe erase this thing now. And I'm looking at this now. Let me get my pen back. And I'm looking at a trapezoid. This is 120 degrees. This is 120 degrees. By the way, the sum of the angles there is going to be 360 degrees. And these things are going to be equal. So let's see, 240 from that. And what do you get there? I got to think about that. That's 120, right? So these are going to be 60 degrees each. What does it mean this guy's over here? Well, if that's 120, this would be 60 degrees. All right? Get my eraser out, kind of working around the picture. You may wonder what I'm trying to look for. I'm looking for triangles. This, of course, is a course in trigonometry. I put that 60 degrees back over here. I think I'm ready to tell you what this angle is over here. It's 15 degrees. How do I know that? I see 45 there. I see 60. And to make it, the 120, let's see, that's going to be 105, right? To make it 120, it has to be 15. And now I think I could figure out this angle over here. And let me see if I can do that. Let me get my eraser out too. Again, I'm just looking around a picture. So 60 and 15 is 75 degrees. That's a triangle, so it's got to be 180. So this is 105 degrees. I know this angle now. 180 minus 105, 75 degrees. And 75 and 50 is 90. So it's a right triangle. So I think I got enough information here about, I'm seeing things, and I'm kind of working towards trying to figure out what that question mark is. And I do see a bunch of triangles now. Triangles that might lead me to that answer. All right. So let me get my eraser out. Erase this business over here. I think I can erase this stuff too. I want to concentrate on two triangles there. All right. Now I got to put a dummy variable in here. The reason for that, I'm trying to figure out what that question mark is. And I know I got a right triangle. So I'm going to look at this over here, and I'm going to say the sine of 15 degrees is going to be the opposite side, which is the question mark, over the hypotenuse. I'm going to call the hypotenuse x, by the way. So it's going to be x times the sine of 15 degrees. And that's going to be the question mark. That's what they want me to come up with. I'm going to use the other triangle. And the reason for that, I know the 2 there. It's a known side. And use the law of sines. And I'll write that down for you. So the sine of 15 degrees over 2, right? It's over 2. And then I'm going to say sine of 60 degrees over x. So I see something immediately. I see x times the sine of 15 degrees is equal to 2 sine of 60 degrees. And you know what? That's what I want. I want this. So what's it going to equal to? 2. The sine of 60 degrees, it should be known now, is root 3 over 2. So what do you get? Root 3. So the answer is root 3. Let me just go to the answer key for you. And it says, over here, I hope you're reading this stuff over here. I realize some students don't read this stuff. They look at this and say, why would I bother? You're bothered to get educated. That's why you bother watching this stuff and trying to make sense out of it. Now, again, there's a couple different videos you can watch. This guy does a very good job. He actually explains some things that I didn't go through, by the way. But, you could also look at the Reddit post. I didn't read the comments, by the way. And I did watch the video, though. And certainly when you see me do the problem and this guy do the problem, there's a slight variation between the two of us. But it's not a substantial one. You could look at that. He does give more detail, though. All right? But anyway, I would say, watch a video and certainly put the dummy variable down. You have to watch a video. The law of sines was used. And, basically I'm writing down what I just did. I got root 3 over here. I want to go through the important note with you, though. And I'm going to say the idea that a deeper exploration understanding of a subject contributes to human education is generally an accurate statement, by the way. And what I want to claim over here is what a lot of students do, they always say, well, why do I learn this stuff? Would I ever use this stuff? And the bottom line is it's a really tough question. I could give you a platitude and say, oh, you learn this because you want to do this, or that. But I would really boil down to an education. And I want to point out to you, and I hope you're catching on to this over here, but these are golden rules, all right? Now, granted, if you're being spoken to in a different way, you're saying you're learning to read because, to get a job or something, it could be one of your goals, but I'm going to point out the reason you learn to read is to read. It's really that simple. That's why you learn to read. And hopefully you're reading things that are important to you, they're consequential. Learn to write. Why do you learn to write? To write. Now, if you're learning something and not doing it, that's kind of foolish. And certainly that goes for reading and it goes for writing. Now, why would you learn math? I can't say it enough times. To do math. That's why you learn math. Now, by the way, it may be pointless to read. You may be reading a bunch of things that are crappy. You may be writing crappy things, like, taking orders from people and writing down what they want. Or you could be writing a great novel. Or you could be reading a great novel, right? You could be using mathematics recreationally, like I'm doing here. It's a recreational thing, takes up time. Or you could be using mathematics to figure something out. It's up to you, right? If you're being told differently, though, that there's a reason for reading is not to read. That's kind of ridiculous. Or to write, not to write. It's kind of ridiculous. There's a point to this over here. Read to read. Write to write. Math to math. If you're being told otherwise, you're being patronized, and we don't want to see that. We want you to learn and do what you're being taught. Whether it's reading, writing, or arithmetic, you want to start doing that stuff. Hopefully it's somewhat entertaining to you. Thank you.